to the cries on the streets. From broken promises to bold reforms, one show rises above the spin. Crestline.
If monkey jumps, when the tree is now closed, the monkey will break legs.
They used 18 members to impeach a governor instead of 22 members.
The political show that dares to go deeper. Crestline brings the voices, the verdicts, and the vision that shapes our future. Join Rayo Akinshowo. Tough questions, real answers, no filters. Crestline, where politics picks.
Good evening and welcome to Crestline, the program where politics speaks and ideas that shape our society laid bare. I'm your host, Rayo Akinshowo. Tonight we'll step away from the daily heat of politics to focus on an issue that is not only political but deeply economic: real estate investment in Nigeria. We are not going to talk about Nigeria alone today. We'll be going global as well. With rapid urbanization, rising population, and push for affordable housing, and real estate has become one of the most talked about sectors in our country. But the question is Nigeria's real estate market truly an engine for wealth creation and development, or are there hidden risks investors need to worry about? To help us answer these questions, I'm joined by a man who has built a reputation in this space, Mr. Harvey Nwachukwu, CEO of WEPHCO Group. Mr. Nwachukwu, you're welcome to Crestline.
Thank you very much, Rhyme. It's a wonderful opportunity to accept this honor of being here with you this day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. We are not going to talk about Nigeria alone. When we talk about real estate, I understand that your properties are mostly abroad. Anyway, we got you covered. We'll be talking relating Nigeria and also to the global market. Okay, let's begin now. We will be having our first talking point. Let's begin with the basics. Nigeria has been described as having one of the largest housing deficits in Africa, estimated to range from 17 to 20 million. Yet, at the same time, real estate continues to attract investors. Why do you think real estate remains such a hot investment space in Nigeria abroad despite these challenges?
Thank you very much, Rhyme. Let's begin. Let's point out this, that the housing deficit in Nigeria has been a challenge which the current administration has accepted. But the real answer lies on demand. Looking at the population of the country, actually, with the growing rising population, in futuristic projection, we are looking at in the year 2050, we are looking Nigeria is going to hit 400 million in population. When you take a look at the housing deficit, which is about 28 million units, we are talking about up to $268 billion. Where people see problem, we see opportunities. That is a $268 billion opportunity, which is yet untapped. So our wonderful invitation to those, both local and international, remains that they should come and participate in this thriving location, because Nigeria still remains prime investment location in Africa and one of the best areas you can ever invest in Africa from a global space.
Well, you talked about Nigeria and most of your investment in properties, they are abroad. Well, let's talk about at the international level now. How attractive and how challenging is real estate?
So when we look at the international scale, we look at what are the reasons why people invest abroad. We can see problems coming from passports, dual residencies, having other sorts of investments. Those are some of the reasons why people invest abroad. And we position ourselves to look at more of areas that benefit people in this location. What are these investment-friendly grounds whereby they can invest? And you see one of the areas which we talk about is the United Arab Emirates will have good projects there. And this project comes from what we call, they offer up to 75% mortgage of investment. It comes with an ROI of up to about 12% return of investment annually. And other high advantages we stand with this property: zero tax, zero investment fees. It's more about profitability. So, and when people are investing off-plan projects abroad, over coming years, the yield in those investments rise. If you want to flip over, it gives you twice the investment, making it one of the profitable markets that you can ever invest there. Then when you now come to instability in our economy, which has to do with the devaluation of currency, you now see where people make more money from. So those are some of the reasons why some people see it very profitable to invest internationally and also locally. So our invitation based on the program is not only for people to invest internationally, it's also for the diasporas who are part of our greatest remittance. We remit up to $20 billion annually from IMF report to look at investing in Nigeria. It's a prime location, and first investors always profit. So looking at the thriving environment, it calls for everyone who is within the global space to come in and look for investment here.
Well, I want to recall one of House of Representatives here in Nigeria said the regret he made was to invest in building. You know, and it's like saying that, okay, if you've invested your hard-earned money to have a real estate business in Nigeria, it will take you some time before you could recoup your money over years. But you're saying here that United Arab Emirates, if you're able to invest, you could get double of your money in no time. So from the scale of 1 to 10, investment in Nigeria and investment in overseas, abroad, which one? Which way?
I wouldn't want to just give that criticism, but when you talk about investment, there are tactics to investing.
Okay.
You don't just wake up and start investing. That's why you need a brokerage firm like WEPHCO to help you down the line and to guide you within the process. Prime location remain factual to return of high yielding investments. Let's take, for example, if you want to recoup your investment in a very short while, investing in any location cannot give you that return of investment. So whenever you want to invest and gain high return of investment, you always look at what they call prime locations. That actually help you to recoup your money at the needed period of time. And for those who need further guide on this, could visit us and have a one-on-one with our experts who will guide them on how to invest, where to invest, and when to invest, which will ease up the process.
So number one factor is prime location.
Prime location.
For you to invest. For those of you who want to go into real estate, number one lesson from our guest today is saying that you have to get to a prime location before you could invest. You don't just invest. That's okay. Let's move ahead. Another big trend we're seeing it is shifts towards. Okay, let me go into your group now, because you said you've moved from technologies to group. I also want to use this opportunity to welcome those people on your entourage here in the studio. Mr. Nwachukwu, the CEO of WEPHCO Group, came in with his entourage. They are just behind the scene. I want to say welcome again to the studio, and this is Chris Line. Okay, let's move ahead now. Interesting. Now, one of the major concerns for investors is land ownership and title registration. The issue of multiple claims on a single property is one we hear too often. From your experience in WEPHCO Group, what practical steps can government and private players take to restore confidence in the system?
Thank you very much. I love that question. This is a problem we're facing. It's a very huge problem, and when you look at this problem, it's affecting investors' confidence into our dear country. From my experience, I feel there should be a digitalization process to this, and when we digitalize this, we're able to address the pressing needs of those who seriously want to invest. That could help regain trust in investors, and also to enable people get needed certification at due time. Another emphasis which I'd like to say is fast, transparent title process. You know, some CFOs take up to 2 years to come. Some CFOs come for a number of years, and we can see even in the FCT, before the Nwike's administration, you have seen that this has been a problem. But with the current administration, I believe they are working on this, and there's been a lot of change in it. And also states like Lagos have been able to address this pressing concern. They are looking into it, and there need to be, first of all, digitalization, and secondly, there need to be fast processing of documentation. Then thirdly, to put investors in safe ground, they need to also do what they call private partnership with companies like WEPHCO, who will help them to be able to go through the verification and certification process before they look into investment. So in real estate investment, brokerage is always an important factor when you talk about investing in real estate.
Well, digitization, then to fast track, documentation as well, those are just a takeaway. I think that digitization also will also will disencourage, you know, will not encourage people who sell land to 3 different people. Have you experienced that before?
Yes, we get these problems, and it's coming from our diasporas. But remember, when you have proper documentation, the problem is on forgery. And for you to eliminate forgery, there needs to be a little bit of digitalization. So with elimination of forgery, you have to digitalize the process. I'll give you an example. In the United Arab Emirates, it takes you 2 weeks to process all the housing documentation, and for the buyers to be able to gain their property. Everything of that land, starting from the house or land or everything you have buy, is being done by the Dubai Land Department. Why would in Nigeria for it to take 2 years? 2 years is quite a huge gap, and that's where theft come in, because of the huge gap in the system. So digitalization will help reduce the gap, because it's going through different bodies, and with digital process we can be able to accelerate the pace to certification of this process.
Have you heard about Monile before?
No.
Okay, to make you understand, I think that really happens. Talk about southwest Nigeria, whereby you buy land and some group of people will come. Oh, this land belongs to our father. If you want to do anything, you can't. They will have to stop any development there. They will say, no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So at the international level, there is no Omonile, whatever in there. But I'm just trying to. Well, it's strange for me to say, you have not experienced, or maybe because I'm speaking in Yoruba, so you don't understand what Omonile is. These are a set of people. I think they have it in all different kinds of different parts of the country. They will just come, stand, and they will say, no, you cannot. They have cases here also in Abuja where we have some group of people that will stop you not to develop your property and all that. So what do you have to say about this kind of people?
So I feel this has to do with, I feel there has been a transition, just like in the FCT. You have seen that before they have AMAC housing and the rest, but I love what the Wike's administration, you know, these are things that have been done for a series of years, and there's a transformation coming in with leadership. You know, right now in Abuja, it has to be an FCDA certified document, which is coming with a CFO. So you see, yes, there's a problem to our economy, there's a problem to our system. I feel the recent administration and people in powers are trying to tackle this challenge, and I believe that this is a little bit about politics, which I don't like to step into, but I believe this will be
we are still going there to talk about politics and policy as well. Well, you know, you can't run away from that. We are live, so it's your business, then you have to tell us what and what, because it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because for you to thrive in the business part, you know, you have challenges, and if you don't address those challenges, you're going to hit the rock, which you are trying to avoid.
I feel my biggest invitation will be for those who pass through these processes could come to us to gain deepening advice that will help them to have pave that way and not fall into those traps. Because the problem, the huge problem which we are facing is when you're not informed, you're deformed. You getting me? Information gives you vital knowledge and helps you to know where to thrive and not to invest into. I feel they lack those knowledge, and we can help solve that problem.
All right, this is still Crestline, and we'll be going for the short break. And when we come back, we'll be talking about real estate investment in Nigeria. Please stay with us.
Begging is luck. Sometimes you get food immediately.
Welcome back. This is still Crestline, and topic for today is real estate investment in Nigeria. We're going global as well because my guest got investment globally. So we'll talk a bit of Africa as well as Nigeria. Okay, another big trend we are seeing is a shift toward smart homes and green buildings. Some say this is a luxury-driven, others argue there's a failure of sustainable living. Where does Nigeria stand in this transition? And is it realistic for the average Nigerian investor or homeowner?
All right, thank you very much. I feel in Nigeria this is no longer a luxury conversation, but it's a necessity. Looking at the current power supply in Nigeria, in major cities we are having up to 18 to 20 hours of light, and in lower areas we are having up to 15 to 10 hours of light. Green living very much, I could tell you that it is an efficient step to help bridge the gap of energy. Energy helps transform living when it comes to real estate. From smart security system to smart homes to smart lock and everything, it goes with energy. Since the government is putting an adequate step to close this gap, while these problems still exist, I feel it's a necessity for every investors, But right now, it's not affordable for everyone. But in the coming days, I feel it's going to be very much affordable for the middle class to be able to generate those.
Well, okay, let's move forward. Let's move forward. And I really want to appreciate you for being here. And I don't want to see, I hope the seat is not too hot for you to sit.
No,
anyways.
it's not actually. It's not.
Is that, okay, let's now talk about that's what you're trying to avoid. And let's go into it. Let's talk about the politics and policy. The federal government has often promised affordable housing schemes, mortgage reforms, and land use regulation adjustment. From your perspective, or do they remain more on paper than in practice? I know you don't want to say some things, but it's good for you to talk about it. Is what it is. You know, it is what it is.
Honestly, in the past, it used to be a paper. I have a lot of people. I feel in the past it used to be a paper thing, but embracing the current administration, I feel there has been a slight change. We can't promise that this has been 100% efficient, but I feel when you talk about mortgage, unlike South Africa that has a 30% of its GDP has access to mortgage, in Nigeria we are still battling with 1%. But the current administration, from news, awarded up to 100 billion naira to address housing issues and to encourage mortgage investment in Nigeria for both local and diaspora. So I feel there has actually been a change in that administration. But it hasn't been 100% efficient, unlike when you look at the international level. So we hopefully that this might, in the nearby future, we'll be able to come up to 20 to 30%, just like in other countries which I've traveled to, you know. But right now, it's at the preferred stage.
At the preferred stage. So you want to make any comparison? Okay, I have to hold you from there because you said the countries that you have been to.
Yeah.
So let's make comparison of those countries that you have been to.
So, like, I would like to use example of South Africa. They are 30% of that. Are you getting me? In the UAE, you see a whole lot of that happening. Housing can be offered up to 75% mortgage investment in the United Arab Emirates. That gives you access to mortgage, you know, help building a friendly environment for investment, you know. But right here in Nigeria, I feel the Renewed Hope Initiative are the ones who are enacting that law and helping it to become accessible for people right now.
Okay, before we round off, we have aspiring investors, we have young professionals, we have people who are in diaspora, we have middle-class families. What are the three that you have to tell young investors, young professionals who are green and they really want to put in their money into this real estate investment in Nigeria? Or what's the three piece of advice?
Okay, first of all, I will always say, always verify, never assume. Fraud exists, but safe investment is possible with the right proper legal check-ins and verification, which we do, and certification. You know, always verify first, never assume. Don't say this fraud doesn't exist. It also exists in international countries, so it's not only happening here, but only that ours is at the wider range and theirs exist in a very small scale. Think long-term. Real estate is not a short-term investment process. So whenever you're investing in real estate, think long-term. And partner rights. You know, I wouldn't want to say this, but I'm pushed a little bit to say this. Don't go with real estate agents you just see on the street. go with the right brokerage firm which could help you, guide you through the process, because think about it, you're investing a very lot of money and you are just playing around with it. The risk is not worth it. So I will say partner right. Then we also, in our space, we are holding a very big webinar, which I'd like to also invite you to have a little bit of insight of what we do. We are having the Homecoming Investors webinar, and this webinar is going to address some of these critical challenges which we are not offering here, but we are going to address it in the webinar. So if your audience, anyone could switch up, log on to our website, www.wephco.com. But it's called Homecoming Investors Webinar. We're looking at the diasporas who has lost confidence in investing locally. We're looking at addressing those challenges which they have, and also to help them to gain more trust into investing in Nigeria. First investors always have higher advantages than second-time investors. So it's better to invest now. Don't wait for tomorrow.
All right, let's. You are here, and to some extent, you are not. I want to. That's one, and for example, also people in the diaspora also, perhaps they also, like you said they've lost confidence, and they want to invest here. They want to buy 1 or 2 properties here in Nigeria. So, what are the steps, the concrete steps to take?
So there's what we call the investment advisory consultation, which we hold for those who are investing, and it's, so we use that to be able to scale up their needs and be able to advise them right. So with our investment advisory consultation, you could be able to gain the steps of how to buy, because our properties, both local and international, which is our biggest base, comes with a whole lot. So we are looking at flexibility in properties. We are looking at, are you investing in off-plan property or one-off property? What time are you looking up to invest? How much do you have as an initial deposit of this investment? So we have to be able to have that advisory council with you, and upon that council we can be able to advise you right, and also to be able to tell you the risk and what to do and what not to do. You know, without that, you don't know what to invest in and how to invest. You don't just hear that, just like we do in Abuja, and which you have spoken, or a land goes for 25 million and they are giving promo of 10%, and because you see that you have 10 million, you're willing to sacrifice that. You know, we have had investors who have tried that, and they just discovered that they invested in a far distant village and that the land cannot appreciate in the next 20 years. So some of these critical